Welcome to the channel where small coins tell big stories. This is the place for true coin lovers, collectors, and curious minds who want to discover the hidden value inside everyday change. Here we explore rare and expensive coins from around the world, uncover surprising auction prices, and explain why simple coins can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. From euro cents to pennies, from circulated finds to collector favorites, every coin has a story and every story has value. First coin. The 2007 Greek 10 euro cent coin in circulated extra fine condition that is commanding astonishing prices in today's auction market, with individual examples reaching around $300 in value. This isn't just a pocket change piece that slipped through the cracks one afternoon. This is a coin that tells a story of rarity, demand, history, and the incredible passion of collectors who recognize its unique place in the realm of euro coinage. From the moment it was minted in Greece in 2007, this 10 euro cent piece was part of everyday commerce. People used it to pay for coffee, groceries, transit tickets, little things that most of us never gave a second thought to. But somewhere along the way, a small number of these coins made their way into collections, perhaps set aside by keen-eyed numismatists or lucky individuals who noticed something special. What makes this particular coin stand out, and why are coins in extra fine condition, even though they circulated, now attracting values of around $300 at auction? It begins with understanding both the design and the minting circumstances of the 2007 Greek 10 euro cent. Euro coins are unique in that each member country of the Eurozone has a common reverse design, but the obverse carries a national motif. The Greek series features symbols and imagery that reflect its culture, history, and identity. The 10 euro cent coin portrays a figure from Greek history with refined detail, and this artistry has always held an appeal for collectors. But artistry alone doesn't justify soaring values. The real story lies in the mintage figures, survival rates, collector demand, and the condition of surviving examples in the marketplace. In 2007, Greece minted millions of 10 euro cent coins as part of its regular circulation coinage. But among these millions, a very small portion entered numismatic channels early on, perhaps directly from the mint, perhaps pulled from circulation by sharp collectors while the coin was still new. As a result, the surviving population of well-preserved examples is far lower than many other years of Greek euro coins. This creates scarcity, and scarcity in the numismatic world drives interest. But demand is also driven by collectors who specialize in Greek euro coins, typesets, or even error and rare date modern pieces. When collectors see a coin that is both scarce and highly desired, prices begin to rise, especially for coins that are not just worn and dull, but in extra fine condition. Extra fine condition means that even though the coin has circulated and was used in day-to-day transactions, it still retains much of its original luster, detailed devices, crisp features, and minimal marks. These are not coins that have been sitting in pristine, untouched bags since minting. Rather, they are pieces that have lived some life, yet managed to survive with elegance and beauty. Coin grading standards help us understand this. An extra fine coin might show light wear on its highest points, but everything else remains sharp and clear. On a Greek 10 euro cent from 2007, this means the figure on the obverse and the common reverse elements will remain detailed and striking. Collectors prize this balance of circulation history and preservation, and that is a key reason why values have climbed to around $300 at auction. But how do these auction values come about? Modern coin auctions are dynamic marketplaces where collectors, dealers, and investors bid in real time, sometimes across continents. Auction platforms track past sales and provide transparency, so when one of these 2007 Greek 10 euro cent coins in extra fine condition sells for $300 or more, that sale becomes a benchmark that influences subsequent listings. Over time, a pattern emerges. Collectors who might have bought similar coins for a lower price years ago now see their investments appreciate. New collectors coming into the hobby see these realized prices and understand that this coin is not only a cultural artifact but a valuable collectible with real monetary appeal. We also have to consider how trends in the broader market affect values. Global interest in modern coins, especially those with limited circulation survivors and beautiful designs, has grown significantly. With online auctions and global connectivity, collectors who once were limited to local coin shops or regional auctions can now bid on coins from Europe, Asia, the Americas, anywhere. This expanded audience means more eyes on rare pieces, which often leads to more competitive bidding and higher realized prices. When a coin like the 2007 Greek 10 euro cent in extra fine condition appears at auction, it can spark excitement, and it's not uncommon for two or more determined bidders to push the price well above what might have been expected just a few years ago. Of course, not every 2007 Greek 10-euro-cent coin will fetch $300. Condition is everything. A heavily worn example with significant scratches or corrosion might only be worth face value or a modest premium to a collector. But a well-preserved piece with eye appeal, strong details, and minimal distractions is a completely different story. That's why grading the coin properly and presenting it well in listings can make all the difference. Many successful sellers will have their coins evaluated by reputable grading services, which provides additional confidence to buyers that the condition is as stated. When a coin is certified as extra fine by a respected third party, it often commands higher prices than an uncertified example because buyers know exactly what they are getting. Now, let's talk about how someone interested in collecting or investing in coins like this can approach the market. First, do your research. Learn about mintage numbers for various years and countries. Understand condition descriptors like good, fine, extremely fine, and uncirculated, and familiarize yourself with recent auction results for the coins you're interested in. Websites that track coin sales and completed auctions are invaluable tools. Second, connect with the community. Forums, social media groups, and local coin clubs can provide insight, guidance, and sometimes even opportunities to buy, sell, or trade. Third, be patient and disciplined. Not every coin will be priced correctly, and not every auction will result in a winning bid. But over time, as you build experience and knowledge, you'll begin to recognize opportunities like a 2007 Greek 10-euro-cent in extra fine condition. When you see them, the story of this $300 value coin is not just about numbers. It's about history, artistry, and the thrill of discovery. It's about seeing something ordinary, a small 10-cent piece, and recognizing its extraordinary potential. It's about the people who have held it, spent it, and eventually set it aside, unknowingly creating a treasure for future collectors. And it's about the vibrant global community of numismatists who breathe life into coins like this every day, celebrating their beauty, preserving their legacy, and ensuring that stories like this one continue to be told. Next coin. The 2007 Australian 10-cent coin in a circulated, dusty fine condition that's been commanding astonishing prices in today's auction market, with individual examples reaching around $350 in value. At first glance, it's just a small piece of metal that once passed from hand to hand in everyday transactions. But for coin collectors around the world, this particular 2007 10-cent piece has become a true treasure. What makes a coin that was used to pay for everyday items suddenly so valuable? To understand that, we need to look at the story behind it. Its design, its production, its survival through time, and the passionate community of collectors who have helped elevate its status from pocket change to a high-value collectible. Back in 2007, the Royal Australian Mint produced millions of 10-cent coins as part of the country's regular circulation. These coins were struck in copper-nickel and were meant to serve the everyday needs of commerce, for groceries, transit, vending machines, and so much more. In most cases, people used them without a second thought. But among those millions of coins, a very small number found their way into collections early on or were preserved by individuals who noticed something unique about them. Whether it was a slight variation in strike, an unusual die feature, or simply a lower survival rate in good condition, these coins have become fascinating to collectors because they are scarce relative to how many were originally minted. Now, let's talk about condition, because condition plays a huge role in the value of any collectible coin. The coin we're focusing on today is described as being in a dusty fine condition. In numismatic terms, fine means that the coin shows clear signs of circulation, it has wear from use, and the high points of the design may be smoothed or less sharp than a newer piece. The term dusty suggests that it hasn't been cleaned or polished, and that's important. Cleaning a coin can actually reduce its value because it alters the original surface and can damage the natural patina. Collectors want authenticity, and a coin that shows honest wear without artificial enhancement is often more desirable. Believe it or not, this balance between circulation, wear, and untouched originality is part of what makes this 2007 Australian 10-cent coin appealing to collectors. So how does a coin like this fetch around $350 at auction? The answer lies in supply and demand. Although millions of these coins were minted, relatively few have survived in grades that collectors find interesting. Many coins get lost, damaged, or remain in wallets and coin rolls for decades. Only a handful make it into collections where they are cared for and eventually offered for sale. When one of these scarce coins appears at auction with eye appeal and honest condition, collectors take notice. Auction platforms provide transparency with past sales, And once a coin sells for a high price, like $350, that sale becomes a benchmark. Future sellers and buyers refer to that benchmark when pricing or bidding, and over time the market value becomes established. Another factor pushing values higher is the growth of the global coin collecting community. With the rise of online auctions and international marketplaces, collectors from every corner of the world can participate in bidding. A coin that might have once sold locally for a modest price can now attract competitive bidding from Australia to Europe, North America, and Asia. More eyes on a scarce coin often means higher final prices, especially when multiple collectors recognize its rarity and are willing to compete for it. It's also worth noting that trends in coin collecting have shifted in recent years. Modern coins, especially those from the latter half of the 20th century and early 21st century, are now being collected more seriously than ever before. Many collectors focus on completing date runs, collecting coins from every year of a series, or seeking out those with unique characteristics. A 2007 Australian 10-cent coin in dusty fine condition might not have been considered particularly noteworthy a decade or two ago, but today it fits into a broader narrative of modern numismatics where scarcity and condition matter greatly. But not all 2007 10-cent coins will bring these high prices. As always with numismatics, condition is everything. A heavily worn, damaged, or poorly presented coin might only be worth face value or a small premium. What sets the $350 examples apart is the combination of scarcity, collectible interest, and condition that still retains appealing features of the original design. For anyone interested in collecting coins like this, here are a few things to keep in mind. First, educate yourself about coin grading and market trends. Understanding the difference between circulated, fine, extremely fine, and uncirculated can help you better assess value. Second, pay attention to auction results and collector forums where similar coins are discussed. These platforms often provide insight into what buyers are looking for and what prices similar coins are achieving. Third, be patient and selective. Not every listing will be a good value, and sometimes waiting for the right opportunity can make a big difference in what you pay and what you ultimately own. The story of this $350,007 Australian 10-cent coin is not just about money. It's about history, the passage of time, and the joy of discovery. It's about seeing something ordinary and recognizing its potential to become extraordinary. For collectors, that moment when you find a rare coin that speaks to you is what makes the hobby so rewarding. Next coin. The 2008 France 10-euro-cent coin in circulated extra fine condition that's commanding around $450 in today's auction market. You might be wondering how a coin worth just 10 euro cents when it was first minted could possibly reach such a remarkable value. Well, sit back and listen closely, because the story behind this coin is a fascinating journey through history, scarcity, condition, and the passionate world of coin collecting. Back in 2008, the French Mint produced millions of 10-euro-cent coins, and they were released into everyday circulation. People used them without a second thought, for coffee, market stalls, buses, vending machines, and parking meters. Most of these coins stayed in circulation for years, eventually becoming worn and unremarkable. But among these millions, a surprisingly small number managed to survive in surprisingly nice condition, including examples that today are graded as circulated extra fine. Circulated extra fine is a term that tells collectors a lot about a coin's condition. It means the coin has clearly been used, it's not mint fresh from the mint, and it doesn't sparkle like an uncirculated piece, but it has held on to much of its original detail. The high points of the design may show some light wear, but the major features are still sharp, the lettering crisp, and the surfaces relatively clean. This balance of age, use, and preservation gives the coin character and appeal, and collectors love that because it tells a story of everyday life while still looking attractive. So why is the 2008 France 10-euro-cent so valuable today? It comes down to a few key factors. First is scarcity in collectible condition. Although millions were minted, only a tiny fraction survived in grades that collectors find desirable. Coins often get lost, damaged, or heavily worn, so finding one that circulated but still looks extra fine is rare. Scarcity always drives interest, and when something is scarce and attractive, collectors take notice. Another factor is modern collector demand. In recent years, the market for modern coins, those from the late 20th century and early 21st century, has grown significantly. Collectors who once focused only on older, historic coins have expanded their interests to include modern issues, especially those with limited high-grade survivors or interesting stories. A 2008 France 10 euro cent in extra fine condition fits this trend perfectly. It's a coin that's familiar to many, yet rare enough in nice condition to attract competitive bidding. Auction platforms around the world make values transparent, because every realized sale becomes a reference point for future listings. When a 2008 France 10 euro cent coin in circulated extra fine condition sells for $450 at auction, that sale becomes a benchmark. Collectors and dealers take note, and future sellers often price their coins based on that realized value. Over time, those benchmarks build a picture of what the market considers fair value for a coin of this quality. You might wonder if every 2008 France 10 euro cent is worth $450. The answer is no, and that's an important point. Condition matters more than almost anything else. A heavily worn coin with significant surface marks or damage might only be worth face value or a modest premium. But when a coin shows light, even wear, pleasing surfaces, and clear detail, those qualities that define extra fine, it enters a completely different value category. Collectors pay for eye appeal and promise of preservation. Let's talk about how collectors approach acquiring coins like this. First, education is key. Understanding grading terms, historical context, and recent sale prices gives you the tools to recognize a good find. Many serious collectors track auction results across multiple platforms, watching for trends and comparing what similar coins have sold for in the past. Knowledge is what separates a good purchase from a great one. Second, patience pays off. Rare coins don't appear every day, and when they do, they can attract multiple bidders. Being prepared, financially and mentally, makes all the difference. Sometimes buyers will wait months or even years for the right coin to appear. And when one does, it can be incredibly rewarding to win it and add it to a collection. Third, presentation matters. Coins submitted to reputable grading services often command higher prices, because buyers have confidence in the grade and condition. Grading provides an objective assessment that reduces uncertainty, which is especially valuable when high dollar amounts are at stake. A coin graded as extra fine by a respected third party can often bring significantly more than an uncertified example. It's also important to recognize the emotional side of collecting. For many, coins are more than investments, they are tangible pieces of history, artifacts that connect us to everyday life in another place and time. Holding a well-preserved 2008 France 10 euro cent takes us back to markets in Paris, cafes in Lyon, and train stations in Marseille. It evokes images of people using the coin for real transactions, long before it became a collectible. That story adds richness and depth to the coin's appeal. And we should acknowledge the global nature of today's numismatic market. Thanks to online auctions and international collectors, a coin minted in France can be sought after by enthusiasts in North America, Asia, and beyond. This worldwide demand creates competition and helps establish strong market values. What might have once been a modest local price can now turn into a significant global auction result when the right buyers are engaged. So when we see a 2008 France 10 euro cent coin in circulated extra fine condition bringing around $450 in today's market, we're looking at more than just metal and design. We're looking at scarcity, preservation, demand, history, and the passion of collectors who value this coin for both its aesthetic qualities and its place in the story of modern coinage. Next coin. The 2003 Germany 10 euro cent coin with a J mint mark in circulated extra fine condition that is currently achieving astonishing values in today's auction market, with examples selling for around $550. You might be surprised, a coin that once spent its life in everyday circulation being worth more than 50 times its face value? But when you understand the story behind this coin, its rarity, its condition, and the passionate collector demand, it begins to make perfect sense. This is not just about metal. This is about history, scarcity, and the global excitement of coin collecting. Let's start with the basics so we all understand what makes this coin special. In 2003, the Federal Republic of Germany struck euro coins at several mint facilities. Each mint facility is identified by a letter, A, D, F, G, and J, and each of those represents a different city and production location. The J mint mark specifically indicates the mint in Hamburg. That mint is well respected among collectors, but for that year and denomination, the number of coins that survived in higher conditions was far lower compared to other mint marks. Most 10 euro cent coins entered circulation and were used daily, carried in pockets, wallets, and coin jars. Over time, many developed wear, scratches, and damage. But a surprising handful managed to survive with only light wear, what numismatists call extra fine. Extra fine condition means that the coin clearly circulated, it isn't mint fresh, but it still retains most of its original design detail. The high points will show gentle wear, but the lettering, date, and design elements remain crisp and pleasing to the eye. On this 2003 Germany 10 cent, a coin in extra fine condition will still show the iconic German Federal Eagle on the obverse and the oak twig design on the reverse with strong detail, even though it has lived a working life. That balance of circulation history and attractive preservation is part of what makes this coin so desirable. Now you might be asking, why does a circulated coin like this bring values around $550 in today's auction market? The answer lies in the interplay between scarcity and demand. While millions of 10 cent coins were struck in 2003 across all German mints, only a small portion were set aside early or survived in higher grades like extra fine. Coins marked with J from Hamburg are especially sought after because they tend to have lower population figures, meaning far fewer exist in collectible condition compared to other mint marks. Collectors who specialize in German euro coins, mint mark sets, or modern rarity series know this, and they are willing to compete fiercely for the limited examples available. Auction platforms have become the heartbeat of the modern coin market. When one of these 2003 Germany 10 cent J mint mark coins sells for $550 or more, that sale becomes a key benchmark. Collectors and dealers watch realized prices closely, and these results help shape what future buyers are willing to pay. Over time, as high-quality examples trade hands and these prices become established, the market value becomes more visible and more competitive. A coin that might have been modestly priced a few years ago can now command impressive sums. It's also important to recognize how the global collecting community has grown. Thanks to internet auctions, international marketplaces, and active collector forums, a coin minted in Germany can draw interest from enthusiasts in the United States, Asia, Australia, and beyond. More eyes on a scarce coin almost always mean more competitive bidding, and that global demand fuels the rising market values we're seeing today. What once may have been a local or regional collectible has now become a globally recognized prize. For collectors who are new to this hobby, understanding how coins are valued is essential. It's never just about the year or the denomination, it's about condition, rarity, provenance, and collector demand. A heavily worn or damaged 2003 Germany 10 cent might still only be worth a small premium over face value. But when you find one in extra fine condition with attractive surfaces, clear detail, and the coveted J mint mark, you found something that stands out in the marketplace. That's the difference between ordinary pocket change and a collectible coin that commands hundreds of dollars at auction. Now let's talk about how collectors approach these kinds of coins. Serious collectors do their homework. They study population reports, auction results, and grading standards. They learn the difference between grades like fine, very fine, extra fine, and brilliant uncirculated. They understand that even small differences in wear and eye appeal can have a huge impact on value. Many collectors also choose to have their coins professionally graded by reputable services. A certified grade gives buyers confidence, especially when high dollar amounts are at stake. Coins certified as extra fine by established grading companies often bring stronger auction results because bidders trust that the grade accurately reflects quality. Collectors also enjoy the thrill of the chase. Rare coins, especially those from popular series like Eurocents with specific mint marks, are not always easy to find. Sometimes these coins appear at major auctions, other times in private sales or estate collections. Patience and persistence often pay off. And when a collector finally adds a rare piece like this 2003 Germany 10 cent with a J mint mark in extra fine condition to their collection, it's not just about the money. It's about the satisfaction of completing a challenging quest. There's also an emotional and historical side to collecting that enhances the experience. Coins are small, but they're powerful connectors to the past. Holding a well-preserved 2003 Germany 10 cent is like holding a piece of everyday life from more than 2 decades ago. You imagine the hands that used it, the places it traveled, and the stories it could tell. That human connection adds depth and meaning to the hobby, beyond pure monetary value. Next coin. The 1999 France 10 cent coin in circulated extra fine condition that is commanding around $600 in today's auction market. You might be wondering how a coin that was worth just 10 cents when it was originally minted could possibly be worth such a remarkable amount today. The story behind this coin is rich with history, scarcity, condition, and the vibrant global community of collectors who recognize its unique value. This isn't just a piece of metal, it's a fascinating journey through time, passion, and market demand. Let's start by understanding the background of this 1999 France 10-euro-cent coin. Although euro coins were officially introduced into circulation in 2002, many euro coins, including the 10-euro-cent pieces, were struck in preparation for the launch years earlier, in 1999 and the early 2000s. These coins were produced in limited quantities before the official release, and a very small number of them found their way into special distributions, collector sets, or into circulation in error. Because of this early mintage and the relatively low number of survivors in collectible grades, the 1999 French 10-euro-cent has become one of the most sought-after modern euro issues. But why does a circulated coin, one that has clearly been used, sell for around $600? The answer lies in the concept of condition and collector demand. This coin is described as being in extra fine condition. In numismatic terms, circulated extra fine means the coin has seen everyday use. It's not mint fresh, but it has retained most of its original detail and appeal. On this particular coin, you will see that the iconic design elements, including the national motifs chosen by France and the intricate detailing of the common euro reverse, are still crisp and pleasing to the eye. The high points of the design may show light wear, but overall the coin remains attractive and well preserved. This blend of circulation history and aesthetic appeal is exactly what draws the attention of serious collectors. Scarcity plays a huge role in the value equation. While millions of euro cents were struck in later years, the number of 1999 France 10-euro-cent coins that survived in extra fine condition is extremely low. Most of the coins produced were either distributed in special sets, melted down, or spent in everyday transactions and heavily worn over time. Only a very small fraction remain today that meet the criteria for extra fine condition, and fewer still that are available for sale at any given time. That limited supply, combined with increasing demand from collectors who want to own a rare piece of euro history, drives the price upward. Auction platforms have become essential to establishing and tracking market values for coins like this. When one of these 1999 France 10-euro-cent coins in extra fine condition sells for around $600, that sale becomes a crucial benchmark. Collectors and dealers around the world pay attention to these realized prices, and future listings often reference them to justify asking prices or bidding strategies. Over time, as multiple high-value sales occur, the market solidifies around these figures, and the coin's reputation as a premium collectible grows even stronger. Another important factor behind these high values is the global nature of the coin collecting community. In the past, a French euro cent might have been a local collectible with modest regional demand. Today, thanks to online auction houses and international marketplaces, collectors from North America, Asia, Australia, and Europe can all participate in bidding. This worldwide interest means that when a rare coin appears at auction, it can attract competitive bids from continents apart, significantly increasing the final sale price. A coin that might have sold for modest amounts decades ago can now fetch impressive sums because collectors everywhere are watching and ready to bid. It's worth noting that not every 1999 France 10-euro-cent coin is worth $600. As with all coins, condition is king. A heavily worn, scratched, or poorly presented coin might only be worth face value or a small premium to a collector. But when a coin shows light, even wear, pleasing surfaces, and clear detail, the hallmarks of extra fine condition, it enters a completely different value category. Collectors pay for eye appeal and historical significance, and that combination is what makes this particular coin so special. For those of you who are newer to coin collecting or interested in diving deeper into the hobby, it helps to understand how coins are graded and valued. Terms like fine, very fine, extra fine, and uncirculated describe levels of wear and detail. Extra fine sits just below uncirculated, meaning the coin has seen circulation but still retains much of its original artistry. Having a coin professionally graded by a respected third-party grading service can also enhance its value, because buyers feel confident they are getting an accurate assessment of condition and authenticity. Coins that are certified and graded often bring stronger prices at auction compared to uncertified examples. Collectors approach rare coins with both passion and strategy. They study market trends, track auction results, and learn to recognize the subtle differences between grades and conditions. They join forums, attend shows, and build relationships with other enthusiasts. The joy of eventually acquiring a rare and valuable coin, especially one with an intriguing story like the 1999 France 10 euro cent, is something that words alone can't fully capture. There's also a deeply human side to collecting. Coins are tangible artifacts of everyday life. Holding a well-preserved 1999 France 10 euro cent connects you to a moment in time when Europe was transitioning into a new era of currency, when countries were embracing a unified monetary system, and when these small pieces of metal began their journey through countless exchanges and stories. That emotional connection, the idea that you are holding a piece of history, adds profound meaning beyond the monetary value.